And I left this for the last segment. All because, and there's not going to be a dummy of the week. So you guys don't even have to worry about that. This is it. Major League Baseball does it again. Every time that I think that they can't get any stupider and they can't get any more petty and they can't get any more head up their ass, they do something spectacular. Pete Rose has been banned from baseball for a very, very long time. Pete Rose, and rest in peace to Pete Rose, but for years, tried to get himself back into the good graces of Major League Baseball to get reinstated. Because he's the all-time hits leader. He's one of the highest run getters in the league. Played 23 years, I believe, 20-something years in the league. All-time hits leader, like I said, but the way he played the game was the right way to play the game. Charlie Hustle is what they call him. There was never a time that he didn't bust out of that box to try to make something happen. Run people over at home plate. Slide hard into second, third. Like, that's how they told you how to play back in the day, and he played like that until the day he retired. I understand that you have rules and regulations and bylaws and certain protocols that you have to follow. But to ban somebody indefinitely that's been trying to angle his way back when I think that he served his time in the court of public opinion enough that you could have reinstated him when he was still alive. You have other people on that list as well in regards to them reinstating Pete Rose, who's passed on. They have Shoeless Joe Jackson there from the scandalous White Sox team, right? You have other people on this list, but for me, it's very simple. How can a sport that has a history of bigotry, racism, scandals, cheating, substance abuse, all tend to look down upon somebody who made a gambling mistake, but for you to not give him, say, all right, we're going to ban you, but we're going to ban you for 30 years. Let's put it there. Let's put 30 years. And after 30 years, we can be able to reinstate you. They had this ban until the day he died. And once he died, that's when they decide to lift it. If I was Pete Rose's family, I would pick up the phone and I would tell Rob Manfred to go himself. I would tell Rob Manfred to go keep his Hall of Fame plaque and put it somewhere up his. I would tell Rob Manfred, and I'd probably tell his wife to go on the phone too and tell her to do something. So I would do all of these things because how dare you try to disrespect my family throughout all of these years? Not you personally, but your organization. Because we've been through certain different commissioners that have kept this ban. Through bitch-ass Bud Selig and now idiot Rob Manfred. At some point you didn't have... Why didn't you clear him when he was alive? When he had rehabilitated his life, where he wasn't a danger to anybody. See, I understand the fact that when it happened, he lied about it. He wasn't honest and upfront. Okay, cool. But again, you give him a 25-year to 30-year ban. When we see guys get suspended for PEDs now, they get first warning, second warning, and then a lifetime ban. Right? It's never a situation where as soon as it happens, as soon as the infraction happens, they immediately ban you. It's just not right for a sport, like I said, that has a history of bullshit, that has a history of segregation, that have a history of racism. You had guys in the 60s that took methamphetamines just to get through the week. We had a 4-hour bus trip to this podunk town. We're going to go ahead and go on this bus trip, right? Get to the location, play the game. We don't have the facilities or the nutritionist. We don't have the workout facilities to be able to get our bodies right. We're drinking beers after the game. We're hanging out. Probably had a girl or two, whatever it is. And you got to jump right back on that bus for another 4.5 hours and then do it all over again tomorrow. How did you expect those guys to be able to be consistent and stay awake and be constant? They had to take greenies, didn't they? But baseball will make it seem like those players in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, oh, they're the immortal players. Look at all these great things that they've done. But you care nothing about what they took to be great. I see. So when your sport was dead in the mid-90s, and a little dude from the Dominican Republic started taking some juice, and some big Hulk guy that started taking some juice way back in the 80s decided to have the summer of 98, the summer of the home run that brought baseball back into the national spotlight again. For people like the Silent Assassin now to have a sport that she grew up on loving because of those two guys. So you knew that they was juicing because we saw the Andro bottle in Mark McGwire's locker while he was having a post-game interview. We saw it. Nobody said a damn thing. You know why? Because it wasn't a banned substance. So all of a sudden, the substance gets banned, and now you want to be holier than thou, and now you want to ostracize guys like Sammy Sosa that literally carried the league for at least 4 or 5 years. Mark McGwire, you want to ostracize him, Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, but yet David Ortiz is in the Hall of Fame. And he's on a list. He's on a list. But because he's nice, because people love Big Papi, oh, he can be on Fox's broadcast and talk about, oh, and the Yankees lose. People love David Ortiz. They don't love Barry Bonds like that, and that's why he's not in the Hall of Fame. So when you start talking about your holier-than-thou mentality and attitude, you need to look in the fucking mirror. Baseball is not pure. Baseball is not a sport that is without scandal and bullshit. It's the worst sport in our country in regards to North American sports. It's the most corrupt to me. Has the worst history. Baseball's history kind of looks like this country, doesn't it? Very mirror image. Very, very mirror. So for them to be able to do this to Pete Rose and do this to Pete Rose and his family, fuck Major League Baseball. I would not take an invite to the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't. You want to put my dad in, go do it on your own mirror. You're not going to have us co-sign this bullshit. Because we were there when we saw this man physically break down and be depressed, all because he just wanted to be recognized in a part of the game that he grew up loving. We saw how the toll of him not being inducted into the Hall of Fame and having this ban over his head affected him and affected our family for 40 fucking years. But now is the time that you want to get him in the Hall of Fame. Got it. This is why I can never respect Rob Manfred. This is why I'm counting down the days until, was it 2029? He said he's out. 20, whatever it is, 2030, whatever date it is. I'm going to have an active calendar. As the closer it gets, we're going to be having a get the fuck out of baseball Manfred party. This is a disgrace. The fact that you have the all-time hits leader not in the Hall of Fame. You have the all-time home run leader not in the Hall of Fame. You have one of the all-time strike leaders that's not in the Hall of Fame. You have guys like Rafael Palmeiro that's not in the Hall of Fame. But yet, David Ortiz can get in. Mike Piazza can get in. I'm a Mets fan. I love Mike Piazza, but come on now. He played in the steroid era. Who's to say he didn't juice? So if you're going to put one in, put them all in. They're a part of the game. Alex Rodriguez is a part of the game. Don't do one of those things where if Alex Rodriguez, God forbid, he passes tomorrow. Right? Alex Rodriguez in the Hall of Fame. You might as well keep him out to prove a point. What was the point that you were trying to make by putting Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame after he dies? That he can't personally celebrate the shit? What point are you trying to prove? And that's my problem with baseball, is that there's always some carny bullshit behind the scenes that they just can't be normal fucking people. They're the only sport that just operates backwards. You have stars in your league that you can't advertise. You can't promote them. Where's all the money going? That you can't promote your own stars in your league. This is why baseball is not that popular anymore. How it used to be. So, any thoughts, Alan Sasson? Before I move on.
Yeah, for me, it's just you have, even looking at the Astros a couple years ago, have these cheaters that really get no penalty. Yeah. What do you have? The coaches, got a year suspension? And, just even domestic violence and all those cases kind of get pushed under the rug. They're suspended a few games and then, move on.
Right.
This guy's gambling, okay, you can't do that, but give him a lifetime ban is extremely,
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, here's the thing. The man bet on his team to win. Right? Like, come on now. I can understand if the man bet on his team to lose, right? Now you over here controlling the situation where you pulling out good players, you pulling this pitcher, you throwing this bum-ass pitcher in there. I understand that. The man bet on his team to win. Come on now. I'm being facetious, but come on now. This is ridiculous.
Like, how much can he really, besides on his part, control that outcome?
Exactly.
So, it's crazy.
That's all I'm saying.